Zubi, what is fat shaming then? Because how do you fat shame in a way that is actually going to make a difference for someone?
Yeah, I think maybe the term fat shaming itself has become mired in too much. I think it's interpreted too differently by different people. And I think that when people use the word shame, people are conflating it with some type of bullying or aggression or attacking. And that's not what I'm talking about. What we are discussing is that there are certain behaviors that human beings do. I think we'd all agree, if we're being honest, there are behaviors that human beings do that should be shamed, right? Not everything should be accepted, let alone nor tolerated by society. And we all know that it's not good for people to be using hard drugs. We know that it's not good to be binge drinking excessively. It's not good to smoke tons of cigarettes excessively. These are all bad behaviors, and people don't feel any type of way about shaming people for smoking, right? That's simply letting them know that what they're doing is not healthy. It's not conducive to their life. And that's something that you should tell people. You shouldn't shy away from telling a good friend or telling someone that it's unhealthy to smoke or unhealthy to do hard drugs.
Yeah, but they know that. They know that, and they make a decision to keep doing it for their lives. And as a libertarian, I might disagree with that decision, but I'm going to accept that they smoke as long as it has nothing to do with me. I mean, look, Steve Miller, you've got Eva Believer here, right? Now, she's made her career out of being a plus-size model. Maybe a few years ago, she wouldn't have had this career. Would you want to fat shame Eva? Would you say that Eva shouldn't be happy with her weight?
I don't know. Eva's lovely. I love Eva. I know I've got to know Eva through GBNews. But the one thing I would say with the catwalk, we've actually gone from the catwalk to the fatwalk, haven't we? Because everything seems to be these days about plus-size models and fat models on the front of magazines.
So you don't think Eva deserves to be on a catwalk?
Hang on, let me finish. Let me finish the point. And Zubi's right. It's not about hating people. It's still about loving people, but it's about saying we cannot continue to glorify it in the manner we are.
No, Steve, I get that. I get that. But this is a debate, Steve. Steve, let me come in. I understand the philosophical point you and Zubi are making. What I'm trying to understand, remember, I'm someone who battles with my weight. So what I'm actually trying to understand is the practical nature of this. How do you want to deal with people who are overweight? Do you want to say to Eva Believer, you should not be doing your job because you're too fat? Do you understand what I mean? Because we're saying fat shaming should exist in society. OK, how? Do you just go up to a random fat person on the street and say you need to lose weight? How does this work in practice, Steve? Because you've got Eva Believer here. She's a plus-size model. How do you deal with her?
I think it's about balance. And what we do with plus-size models, many of which I get on with extremely well, is we make it clear to them and we encourage them to put over the message that being this fat, and it is called fat, right, is not healthy.